Hi, this is Johannes. Hope you're doing absolutely amazing. Today I will show you how you can transform your arrangements to something like this. And we will do it on test drive and start very easy and then make it progressively more and more challenging until we reach a level that feels good for you. We will start with the most basic version, which is simply playing the melody and the chords. We start with a G minor chord, E flat major, F major, B flat major. Such an iconic theme and chord progression, absolutely beautiful. Now, how can we make this bigger and more epic? The first step we want to do is expand our playing to a bigger register on the piano. A very good starting point is simply to double the melody, playing it in octaves instead. And once you kind of locked in a very nice octave playing with your right hand, a very good follow-up step is to try adding chord notes in between your octave notes. So we start at the very first part here. If we look very carefully, we have 3 notes in the G minor chord, G, B flat, D. Try to add 1 or 2 of these notes in between your octaves. We can add a D, right? If we want, we can also add a G. Very big, powerful sound. We will do so now on the next chord and the next note. Here we can add a G and E flat. Beautiful, powerful. So now we have G minor like this, E flat major like this. Next melody note is C followed by an F chord. So now we could, for example, add F and A in between. Very nice, powerful sound here. Finally landing on a D in the melody with a B flat major chord, which means that we can add F, for example, and maybe B flat. Very powerful, nice sound. Alright, so listen here. Now, what's very beautiful about this is that we have a lot of chord information in the right hand already, which gives us more freedom in the left hand. For example, we could play very low bass notes and already get all of the chord information in the right hand playing. Very big difference to where we started, right? But something we're kind of missing here, we have very big hits, very powerful sounds, but we don't have any forward momentum. We don't have any movement and not really any tension either. So what we can start with for adding a little bit of movement is to repeat a few of the chord notes. We can either do it in the right hand or the left hand. We can start with the right hand. Now, after I've played my melodic note, I will try to repeat some of the notes within the current chord I play. So I could try playing the notes bottom top, top bottom, or maybe start with a middle note and just find a very nice motion I like. This is something you can kind of play around with. Just play the hit once, right? And try to repeat a few notes, see how it feels. Don't think too much about the tempo yet or timing. I really like kind of back and forth pattern like this, so I can try doing the hit followed by the back and forth pattern. You don't need to think about the timing yet. We only want to get comfortable with the timing here. Now, once that feels good, you can continue doing something similar on the next chord. Just finding a movement you like. And then on the third chord, try different movement, feels different, right? And on the final chord, could be cool only repeating 2 notes. But the key here is to stay within your melodic note, stay within your chords, and just try to add movement where your hand is already resting, right? Now, slowly but surely, you can try to kind of count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, before. And I would recommend starting with only one chord, going just to the second one, then progressively adding more and more as you get comfortable. Especially if you're starting out, the key here is to only kind of introduce one challenge at a time until that is conquered. And the smaller challenges above your comfort zone you introduce, the faster you can learn them in the long run. So it should sound something like this with some practice here. And the result can vary depending on the movement you create, but kind of something like this. Now a very easy starting point is just to repeat 2 notes. It's a little bit more simple to keep track of. Beautiful, right? And once that feels good, we can slowly try to add a little bit more movement in the left hand. We can do so by playing arpeggios, which we cover in a lot of my previous videos. I do it in more detail in my Twinkle Twinkle Little Star breakdown, for example, which I very much recommend checking out if you haven't played arpeggios before. But the short answer is that we take the current chord and we kind of try to see all the possible options on the piano. So a G minor is just 3 notes, right? A G, B flat, D, which we can play anywhere on the piano. And if we just kind of repeat these 3 notes, we already have a very big arpeggio pattern. So the key here is to try to find some sort of cool pattern. I usually like to take the 3rd within the chord, move it 1 octave up, and play the bottom note, middle note, top note, middle, top note, back and forth. We can try it right now, only with the hits without the right hand movement. Then we can try some movement, maybe just repeating 2 notes in the right hand. And then even bigger movements. Alright, let's give it a try. Beautiful, right? Now something I like to do when the left hand feels comfortable is extending the pattern to play it even bigger. So something we can do is that we can do the previous same starting position, but then continue climbing upwards on the current chord notes. For example, if you kinda see a G minor here, and then just the 5th and the bass note below, we have a very nice big chord we can play. And I like to start as before, then kinda continue climbing upwards, playing a full G minor chord above my starting 2 notes. We can get something like this and have even more power. Sometimes it can be nice to add a little bit more tension, and you can do that by something I like to call the piano drop, which basically is that you take a chord and you climb downwards within the chord notes. So if we are on F major, we play F on all positions we can think of with the left hand, but instead of doing it notes together, we do 1 note each, alright? And I usually like to start with the root note, so we still play an F chord here, just in a different position, climb downwards, 1 note each. And that can create a very nice kind of build up to landing on the bass within the chord later. So if we play as we did before, G minor, E flat major, piano drop, and then final chord. Very nice kind of extra addition to the left hand playing. And all in all, we have something like this. And if we continue to do the same concept on the melody, we get something like this. Beautiful, right? And that's a very fun way of adding a lot of power and emotion to your playing.